You're at 109 right now.
It's Pug Life, baby. I got my Citizen watch on. I bought this yesterday from a pawn shop. This is fly. Apparently, this Citizen watch, usually, the Citizen watches like this one, this is the Eco Dive one. They go for like three to $400. I got it for $120. I saw it in the window and it just called to me. It said, hey, put me on your wrist. I went inside the shop and I asked to check out the watch. Man, what an experience that was. So I said, let me try that watch on. So the owner comes out, grabs the watch. I sit down with him. He speaks Japanese, I speak English. We didn't say anything to each other, but everything was understood. So he made it available for me. I put it on and it fit perfectly. I said, oh man. My wrist size was perfect. Not a lot of slack. It was just perfect. I switched it. I put it on my left and my right hand just to see what was going on, and everything worked. And then the owner was like, okay, you ready to pay? I mean, he didn't say that, of course, but he was like pulling out the stuff to pay. And I was like, whoa, slow down, my man. I'm just here browsing, just trying to look. And I could, I don't want to disappoint him, but I could sense it was like, this dude. I told him, I said, listen, man, I have to think about it. I need to think about it first. You know, that was the universal sign for think. By the way, I'm listening to jazz right now. Who am I listening to? Is this Coltrane? No, yeah, this is Coltrane. I'm listening to Spiral 2020 remaster, okay? It's called Spiral. So I go in there, try it on, and it fits perfectly, but I don't buy it. He seems disappointed, only mildly. I mean, maybe it's just another day for him, you know? So I say, I need to think about it. So he takes it away and I leave. And I had no intention of buying the watch whatsoever, but it was just, I mean, that was a magical moment because it fit perfectly. It's a really nice watch, you know, more expensive than any watch that I would ever buy on my own. So I was like, I was in luck, right? So I go back to the accommodation, the hostel where I'm staying. I'm resting and stuff, and then watching YouTube videos and everything else. I'm doing everything but thinking about this watch. I go to sleep. I did a little research on watches to figure out if it is worth, you know, buying or whatever. And so I'm resting. I go to sleep. I wake up, and then I don't know if I checked something online or whatever, but they said whatever I learned about online, it said that it's a good deal. Basically, it said it's a doggone good deal. And I said, whoa, I need that watch. So when I went to when it was early in the morning when I was looking around the community, when I happened upon the pawn shop where this watch was being sold. Probably like, no, I remember I slept in that day, so I was up and about around 2 o'clock. So when I went to sleep, it was around maybe 3. Went to sleep for a couple of hours, I want to say. And when I got up, it was actually around 6 o'clock. And I got up and I was like, I need that watch. And I said to myself, that pawn shop is closed. That man went home. He's had a long day. Nobody's bought his wares. And he's just like, ugh, what am I doing here? But sure enough, I walked around the community, went back to the shop. It was still open. I walk in the door. The door chime rings. The man comes from the back. He sees me. He knows me. No communication whatsoever. He goes straight for the watch. He's like, he's back for the watch. Like, yeah, man. So he goes and gets the watch, comes on back. We sit down and I'm like, here's my credit card, man. Whoop, 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 wham, bam, we're done. The little price tag, he cuts it. He pulls out a little pink bag for all of the wares that he sells. Let me get the pink bag to show. Here it is. He pulled out the little pink bag, dropped it in there for me, sealed it like so. Handed it to me. The deal was done. I had a new Citizen watch. Now, Citizen is nothing to sneeze at. Citizen isn't isn't a Rolex. Let's not get it confused. But it is an old tradition of watchmaking that is integral to the history of Japan. So I'm in Japan rocking a Japanese handmade, well-made watch, and stylish at that. Wow, I'm feeling myself, right? I'm in Tokyo, Japan, 2025, doing it big, right? Cut to today. Yeah, I bought the watch yesterday. So cut to today, I'm at Kawagoe. 3 weeks ago, I was in Tokyo. And then I went to some other countries on this vacation, but I'm back in Tokyo before heading back to Los Angeles tomorrow. When I was here 3 weeks ago, I was staying at the same hotel, which is good. 10-9 means repeat, so do things again, and it enriches, it deepens your experience. It enriches the experience because things that you missed the first time, you'll see it again. You can experience and you can notice new things in that next experience. So do it again. So I'm at the same hostel where I was staying before. They were advertising this city, Kawagoe, and I wanted to visit this city 3 weeks ago because I thought, man, that's a very interesting place that I should visit. And the problem was it's more than an hour away from, or it's about an hour away from the accommodation in the opposite direction of Tokyo. Because I wanted to go to Tokyo, Shibuya, Ichimaru-kyu, wear my shirt, promote, and talk about, try to get some followers on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, all that kind of stuff. Tokyo Central, Shibuya, Shinjuku, Roppongi, Ebisu, Harajuku, all of those areas are densely populated. Lots of tourists are over there, so it's a very hectic, experience. It's beautiful and it's great, but this right here is nice and serene, and you're taking in some of the real rich history. So Edo, the Edo dynasty, the Edo period, that's when, man, I'm gonna reveal my ignorance by what I say now. That was Japan's heyday, the Edo period. Many things flourished. It was very strong. This is where the Edo castle was located, and so this is integrally important. This is an extremely important city in the history and the rich history of Japan, Kawagoe. Okay, the shogun, and all of that history. This is really important. So 3 weeks ago I wanted to get here, but today I'm here. And it's a beautiful thing. So before I pay to go inside of the museum, which is about the festival that is held right here in this city. The festival that's held in this city. This city right here. This festival. All right, before I paid to go in there, I sat here right outside the restroom. And I was reading about the festival. Right here, reading about it so that I could learn, appreciate, and understand what this city means and what, is really going on. So basically, the Kawagoe festival is Mardi Gras. It's Carnival in Japan. So that's dope. And then the Japanese have their gods, their deities, and so when I hear about gods and deities, I think of Santeria, I think of Yoruba, I think of Oshun, Yemaya, Shango, Obadaya, Eshualegba. Yeah, candomblé. I think about what I picked up in Cuba and what I learned there about Santeria, the gods. I'm getting cultural references that connect to African spirituality right here in Japan. And that's deep. I see reflections. I see reflections of those practices, those African practices in the Japanese. Now, the thing about this is that the temple that I visited before this merchant area right here, you see, it was home to the Edo shogun. I'm talking about Kitain temple. And basically, Japan was not touched by the Western worlds, the Western societies, especially if you think about Nagasaki. Nagasaki is the first port where the Dutch arrived and where there was contact with the Western world, with the outside world. The Japanese were on an island all to themselves, and they were not influenced by anyone else, but and Japanese culture flourished. So what you experience today as a Westerner coming to Tokyo, coming to Shinjuku, Shibuya, and all that kind of other stuff that is advertised, you're getting a Western influenced new Japanese culture and experience. You come to a place like Kawagoe and you take a look back hundreds of years into what Japan was before it was quote unquote colonized. It wasn't colonized in the sense that we think of it with African nations, but in the sense of it being influenced by the West. This is what you get. You get a peek into what life was like. And I'll tell you the truth, my impression of life in Japan pre-Western contact was beautiful, was just phenomenal. A lot of thought into the architecture, a lot of thought into spirituality, into lineage. Just really, really dope. That's what I think. That's what I can see. Just a beautiful, beautiful, rich history, and a long history at that. So that's all I can say. You know, from my layman's impressions, and from my travels, and the mixtures, or the connections that I'm drawing. Now, the one thing that I will say is that because it's Japanese, some of the questions I have are like the Japanese language, like show me the progression from Sanskrit, I guess, because Japanese and English are not, it's not a Roman, it's not Roman phonetics, it's not. So what's the progression from Sanskrit to the Japanese language? And then what about the influence of astrology, astronomy, and numerology in the culture? Because for the Japanese, numbers 4 and 9 are the unluckiest numbers. And then as I was walking this way, I passed a shop that advertised crystals, and they were talking about aura, and it didn't seem like it was coming from a Western perspective. It came from the human experience. Like, yo, this is just fact. This is just nature. We're just talking about what is true for a human being. So whether you're in Japan, India, China, Africa, and in an African country, in the Americas, you're going to get people talking about auras, astrology, crystals, energy, chakras, and all of this kind of stuff, because it's just a natural human thing. And I thought that was pretty interesting to see a shop that was talking about the same thing, but in a Japanese context. And there were minerals that were found in Japan that were used, jade, part of the necklaces and beads and stuff like that. So I thought that was pretty dope. All right, those are my thoughts here, sitting outside the restroom. See, I don't even know what that statue represents, or what the statue is commemorating, but this is just a beautiful, peaceful spot. Look at the beautiful, greenery and stuff. Just amazing. Citizen watch, y'all. All right. Enough of all this. Enough of that. John Coltrane is still playing.
You're at 109 right now.
Ichimaru ga miemasu. Let's make it happen, Captain. Ichimaru ga miemasu. Ichimaru ga miemasu. I hope it doesn't rain on my parade. I just came from this museum right here. This is the Kawagoe Festival Museum. This was awesome. So the festival takes place all up and down the street, right? It is amazing. It's in October. My birthday is in October 10/9. Ichimaru Tokyo. All right, Ichimaru ga miemasu. All up and down here, all this it just gets live. They turn up. All right, the Japanese just straight turn up. It is amazing. I just went to this museum. The museum is just fire. I will have to say the numbers 10 and 9 resonated with me so deeply. Why did I even come here? The gods, the deities, the Japanese deities welcomed me. They said, you need to be here in Kawagoe. And I said, yes, I'll follow the spirit. The spirit will bring me here. So it's in October. October is my birth month. What a coincidence, right? Now, the festival goes like this. They make floats. Right inside here, if you can look, you can see the floats. These are floats, right? They make these floats. Think of Carnival in Brazil with the floats. They create these floats. It's a big competition. There are no winners and losers, but it's a big competition, and it's all love. Starting to rain a little bit. I might have to cut this short. But the point is this. This is an amazing town. This is amazing history. This is all love. It's intertwined with like African spirituality on a Japanese stylized version. This is dope. Now, the number of floats, this is crazy. This is crazy right here. Check this out. So during this trip, I've been in Japan, I've been in Korea, I've been in Thailand, and I just kept seeing the number 29. 29, 29, 29, 29. I even saw 929, which is a special 3-digit number. And it was just bugging me, like, how come I keep running into 29, 29? It's because the gods have been telling me, the gods have been calling me. So right here, the number of floats they make for the festival that they have right here in this particular city, 29. I kid you not, 29 floats. The festival takes place in October of all months. Now peep game. October is the 10th month nowadays, but October means 8th. So at one time it was the 8th month. So like the 10th month would actually be like December, but they switch it up because life is wild like that. It's crazy. But listen, the gods brought me here. I'm here. I'm happy to be here. And Ichimaru ga miemasu. Kawagoe Festival Museum. Peace and blessings, y'all.
October 9th. That's where it starts.
You see, it's the same old thing.